Hello, I'm Tommy C, and this is Shot from the Point News. That's right, you're probably saying to yourself, you uploaded to the wrong channel, you've done it before, and that would be correct, but not in this case. In this case, I'm making a plea directly to you, especially members, people that have donated this, people that have supported this podcast for years now, my other projects, everything. It all comes down to this. I'm looking about making a major change, but I'm depending on how it rolls in the future is really going to depend on what I see in the comments below. So as a lot of YouTubers would say, you know, I'm really interested in your opinions, put it in the description box below. They just want you to help the algorithm by putting comments. I'm going to read this one very, very, very closely. And I mean that because, you know, I have a smaller audience, but a lot more interaction with them. And you trusting my word is really, really important to me. And the fact that I have a small audience where I actually can do that, and I can interact with more than some bigger YouTubers, and I actually have a general interest in doing it with direct interaction. This is your chance. You're going to shape the future of this channel and the whole really Shot from the Point sort of network, for lack of a better word. Here's my idea. And there's reasons for this. And I'm not going to BS you about them either. I'm not going to tell you I'm doing this because I think it would serve you better. It's bullshit. But I'll explain the whole thing and maybe it'll work out. I have another channel called Shot from the Point News. As you can see over here. I do stories over there, a little more straight-laced, a little less Tommy C. And as you know, about 2-3 months ago, the channel really started growing. Based on a lot of the Onision content and the promise that it would lead to an arrest. And as soon as I started getting the facts in, started dealing with some of the people in that community, it started looking like nothing more than a no evidence witch hunt. I had a lot of faith in Chris Hansen, and you know what? He made me a lot of money. But it got to the point over there where I could not, in good conscience, tell my fan base, because I'm speaking to you guys, I'm speaking to the listeners. When I do that, you know, but this was a new audience. This is a different crowd. And I couldn't in good conscience say that this investigation, which is a joke, is a pseudo investigation at best, was going anywhere. And it turns out it hasn't. Some might say Onision won, which is somewhat unfortunate, but it is fortunate if he hasn't done what he's been accused of. And there really hasn't been a lot of evidence of him being guilty of the things that he was accused of. When I put this idea out there on that channel, I was called a predator and someone who supports underage sex. I mean, you name it. Every horrible thing, effectively ending the growth of that channel going forward. It became very clear to me that a good portion of the people that came to that channel simply wanted to hear what they wanted to hear and facts be damned. And so far, since I made that particular episode of Shot from the Point News, I've been right. In fact, it got a lot worse. Shortly after that, Nick Diorio was attacked by one of the alleged victims, and it really revealed the anti-O community to be a pseudo investigation witch hunt that was willing to do anything to silence any kind of questions or detractors, which I can't in good conscience be involved with. So, why did I give you that big speech? I want to remove, at least partly, Shot from the Point News here. And what I could do is I want to give you no more than 2 notifications a day. And one of those notifications I always count as one of the podcasts. The podcast is still Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. That's not changing. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's not changing, and it will count for one of the notifications. But I will, on those days that I don't have a podcast, start uploading Shot from the Point News here, but only really the top tier stories. And I think that would be good. This does a couple things for me. Augie, this is something I warned Augie about not doing, but I think the algorithm's changed. I think things have changed, and Augie's just hit 10K from it. And the old kind of philosophy was to separate things because people don't like a channel having two different types of content. You can see that with Ray William Johnson, where his music stuff didn't get as much as equals 3, although it is a channel. And this channel used to do that to some extent. When it was a hockey channel, the NHL allows you to, I don't think they do anymore, but they used to let you upload clips, and then I would kind of, these are kind of edited clips of last night's game, and, why don't you check out the hockey podcast? So in a sense, it probably would allow me to grow. They don't promote streams. They will not promote streams. In fact, I used to be able to kind of correlate how much the stream would be promoted or how much hits it would get based on how many people were actually in the live show. And I have to admit, the show went down, live users, and then it went back to normal, and that was slightly above average. But the hits don't correlate. I mean, I'll give you. If I have over 300 people, it would usually equal at least 500 hits via per podcast. That I think has something to do with the current state of things and the fact that people aren't at their desks over at Google and Facebook. Google and YouTube. Facebook, what was I thinking? So I'm not going to lie to you and say there's a financial reason. The hits are down, and I get decent CPM over there. I don't get good CPM on the other channel. So what I'm proposing to you is I will only really be doing top stories that will probably lead into the podcast, and any further reporting on them would probably be, I'd make that breaking news story here, I'd put it here, and then I try to push the traffic over there if there's going to be a series of, I break a big story there, and if it's going to be a series of smaller stories, I'm going to push that to the news site. Or if I just want to do smaller stories in general, I'm not going to bog you down with constant notifications. I really do hope you hit the button, and I really do hope you have the notifications on. So what I can tell you is the odds of me doing over 2 notifications per day would be almost slim and none, and only in a situation where we have a massive story. I mean, as big as it gets. Like maybe changing, baited breakup big. So really 2 notifications per day tops. I think that what that's going to look like is the podcast. We do it again, as I said this before, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 3 p.m. That's not going to change. That's going to count as a notification. So on those days, if I do a news video, it's going to be, higher end, the top story. You'll get 2 notifications on those days, tops. And you might get two notifications on a really busy day during those days I normally have off, which would be Wednesday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And, and we still do the specials and what have you. I really need to hear what you guys think about this. I know a lot of YouTubers tell you, I really care. I need to know. I actually need to know. This is my interest on what you're going to, what you think of that. Because it's really your channel at the end of the day and what you want. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm trying to supplement a little income. I'm not having a problem now, but I'm worried about down the road, especially the state of the world. And this would allow me, because I get better CPM there, to bring some more of that income. And the fact that they don't promote streams, that they do promote these news videos, gives me a chance to bring more hits in there, possibly even more, possibly some more fuckheads. So I think that would be a really good idea. Now, you might like it now and hate it later. Tell me. Don't just unsub. Just let me know that you only wanted the 4 notifications or 4 or 5 notifications a week for this podcast. Tell me now. Tell me if you change your mind later. The more I see it, the more I'm going to react to it. Now, if it's just you, one guy, and things are going well, I'm sorry. But I need to hear from you. Whether it's your emails, your tweets, or in here, or my open Discord, I need to hear from you because it's a pretty big change to this sort of network that we have. And yeah, I will be doing news stories here in the future. But I need your help. I need you to direct me on how it's going to go. It'll only be big stories. And a lot of stories that we do would be and check out the podcast later on this channel. Or we'll be doing follow-up stories on the other channel. And they're going to be the big ones. They're going to be the ones that we normally cover on the podcast, or just huge stories. And there is a part of this. I mean, it's not all friggin' money. And I do like, I like bringing the news. I really do. I like talking about internet culture. I really do. I enjoy that. I put, the links to other websites or, YouTube channels if you don't think you're getting enough information. Well, you know what? This guy may have done a better job than me. Here's more information if you want it. Check the description box. And I'll do that here too. There's a part of me that, just you have to enjoy it on some level. It can't be just about money. So I might do like smaller stories or esports stories over on the other channel. It gives me a lot of opportunities. And it does give me a chance to get a little further in the algorithm because they don't seem to be punishing the videos as much as they do the streams, and they seem to be punishing them even more now. So yeah, Augie probably, I used to tell Augie not to do this, and now with his success, I think it'd probably be best for this channel. I just want to go over the thing. Of course, we got the Shop from the Point news channels. They're going to be maybe second tier stories or follow-ups. And of course, we have Shop from the Point Rewind, which I really hope, I really, really wish you guys would give that more of a chance. We only have 1,500 subs over there. And it's just, bad shows are good over there. The show's usually wrapped up within 7-10 minutes at the most. The entire episode of Shop from the Point. That's going to continue. An episode of Shop from the Point will be there. And Comrade does a fantastic job. He's a mega editing talent. He's also super funny. And honestly, he's mostly goofing on me. So if you hate my guts, you might even like it. So and get some hate watches over there. Please check that out. Breakfast and Beer is kind of suspended indefinitely. I wouldn't call it, say we ever do it again, but it's not a part of the immediate future. And I do kind of do some game streaming as a Tommy C's Arcade, which is really a hobby channel. So that's the whole network right there. And I really want your input. I really want to hear what you have to say. And just, I'm going to try not to bog you down with notifications. But I think it would really help me get those extra hits, especially like on a Wednesday where I can make a 10-minute video and then pull, a couple more hits, keep you informed. But I'm not going to lie to your face and say, I'm doing this because of you. And I'm a little nervous about the economy. And I think also this would help the channel grow. And I got to be honest with you, my experience, you guys want the channel to grow more. I'm not as focused on hitting 100,000 subs as a lot of other YouTubers. I do my job, get paid, and the subs are the subs. But I notice you guys get more frustrated with the lack of growth over here. And maybe it'll help us hit 50K or 60K or beyond. So, and if I'm okay with that. I'm fine. I'm more interested in paying my bills. But yeah, that's great. That'd be great. So we'll put some videos on here. Nothing changes. Last thing, not least, this is important. On the news videos, you might see some cursing censoring. You might see me dodging certain words just to obey the algorithm. That's going to be the nature of the business. I promise. Unless YouTube comes down hard, okay, on me, the podcast will be left untouched. We haven't changed a thing with the podcast. Dirty mouths, edgy jokes, whatever. I'm not going to change that. I will take the yellows on that. No problem. I am going to try to avoid the yellows on the news. And also the news channel, I'm kind of opening that up. You may get a bunch of notifications there. And we'll see how we'll do it. Again, tell me. I do care. I'm going to pay attention, not only to this, but in the future. See if this stuff bothers you. This is a news channel, Tommy C's SFTP, as well as a podcast channel. And consider SFTP News a backup or, lower tier stories and follow-ups. Sound good? Fair enough? I don't want to bore you. But, yeah. This has gone on way too long. I'll see you guys tonight, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't know what the hell to do. But I'll see you. Maybe we'll talk about this. Who knows? Peace.